Child rushed to hospital following late evening collision. A young child was rushed to hospital late Thursday following a collision at the intersection of Knoxford Boulevard and Oxford Road. Reports were that around 8:15 p.m., two cars, a silver Toyota and a black BMW, collided. The female driver of the silver motor car subsequently emerged from the wrecker holding a child who was bleeding profusely from the head. She and the child were assisted to hospital. The male driver of the black motor car appeared unharmed and was seen speaking with police. Nearby, parkgoers who flocked to the scene reported hearing a large boom at the time of the incident. AK-47 rifle, 120 assorted rounds of ammo seized in Salt Spring. The St. James Police said they seized one AK-47 rifle, 4 magazines and over 120 assorted rounds of ammunition during an operation in Salt Spring in the parish on Thursday. Reports from the Montego Bay Police are that about 1:30 p.m., lawmen conducted an operation in the area, during which time the firearm, 4 magazines, 86 5.6 rounds, and 46 7.62 rounds of ammunition were seen in an open lot. No one was arrested in connection with the seizure. Investigations continue. 2 arrested in Clarendon after discovery of alleged stolen items. A taxi operator and an unemployed man were taken into custody following an operation in Clarendon on Thursday morning. According to Clifton Green, Deputy Superintendent in charge of criminal investigations in Clarendon Division, several household appliances believed to have been stolen were recovered during the search of 2 premises, one in Bushy Park and the other in North Street, Denby in the parish. Stoves, washing machines, television sets, computers, and other household articles reported valued at $1.5 million were recovered. The items were reportedly seized at the Bushy Park premises, which police say was being used as a store to sell the stolen appliances. Lawmen indicate that since operation, some of the recovered items have already been identified by at least one complainant whose house was broken into and items taken. Meanwhile, DSP Green used the opportunity to remind the public to not support criminals by buying their ill-gotten gains.
I must also state that some of these articles have been already identified by at least one complainant whose house was broken into and items taken. The Clarendon police have seen a decrease in the break-ins over the past year, which shows that the efforts are being intensified using all the available resources and partnerships to ensure we tackle this problem. I also want to use this medium to remind members of the public not to support these criminals by buying their ill-gotten products.
1 man dead, another injured in separate shooting incidents on Golden Street, Kingston. 1 man is dead and another hospitalized after 2 shooting incidents which occurred hours apart on Golden Street in Kingston on Thursday. Police are reporting that about 2 a.m., unknown assailants gained entry to a house on Golden Street through a back fence and opened gunfire hitting the lone occupant who was lying on his bed. The man was rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The deceased has been identified as Ronald Brown. Approximately 4 hours later, the police were called again to the same Gold Street address following reports of another shooting. When police arrived on the scene, a man was reportedly seen suffering from gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital where he is undergoing treatment. According to Deputy Superintendent of Police, DSP Francis, the Kingston Central Division, the shooting was gang-related. What we are picking up, because in recent times, there has been some tension down in this place. It is as a result of the gang feud that is taking place. Our investigation is pointing to members of the gang who would have been displaced or defecting somehow, and we are continuing our investigation surrounding a number of persons. Of course, our investigation is in the embryonic stage, but we will be very rigorous in our pursuit of individuals who may be able to assist us in the investigation of these matters, DSP Francis stated. Ammunition seized in Manchester operation. 2 days after police seized an assaulted rifle in Battersea near Mandeville, Manchester, more ammunition was found during an operation in the community. A source told reporters that the police continued their raid on Thursday with the support of the military in Battersea, New Green, in search of illegal guns, ammunition, and suspects. The source said shortly after 8 a.m., the team, during an extensive search, found 11.38 rounds at an open lot. Police suspect that other illegal weapons were removed from the area by criminals. On Tuesday, an AR-15 and 5.56 rounds were seized in Battersea. Alfonso Mason, 29, otherwise called Tallman, a truck driver of Battersea District, has been charged in relation to Tuesday's seizure. Island Traffic Authority working on motor vehicle fitness certificate challenges. The Island Traffic Authority is advising the public of challenges being faced with the processing of certificates of fitness for motor vehicles at service hubs across the island. The authority says it is working to rectify the issue as soon as possible. In the interim, motorists who are unable to receive their certificates of fitness will be issued a certified letter from the authority noting the roadworthiness of their vehicle, which will allow them to traverse the roadways without fear of breaches of the Road Traffic Act. Once the processing of certificates of fitness has resumed, customers will be required to obtain same and will no longer be allowed to drive with a certified letter. Motorists and motorcyclists are being reminded that certificates of fitness can be renewed up to 30 days before expiration and that they should check their vehicle documents regularly to be aware of expiration dates. Barnesville welcomes JLP Defector Mar to PNP. People's National Party PNP minor leader and councillor for the Hills Division in Clarendon, St. Barnesville, has embraced Romain Morris, councillor for the Mocha Division in Clarendon North Central, after he crossed the floor from the Jamaica Labour Party JLP at Thursday's monthly meeting of the Clarendon Municipal Corporation. Describing Thursday's proceedings as a historic day for the people of Clarendon, Barnesville said Morris, which is an indication that he is going places. Today I stand beside a young man who has a vision, a young man who is going places, a young man who needs mentorship, molding, and we will harness his talent and welcome him to the People's National Party, he stated. Recalling how he met Morris in 2015, Barnesville said he believed he was on the wrong side and is now happy he has joined the PNP. He invited me as a guest speaker at his Christmas tree lighting ceremony, and from there I realized that this guy is on the wrong side, but I'm happy that today his eyes are open and has now joined the People's National Party, and we welcome him, he stated. Highlighting that Morris has always been supported by people from other parties, Barnesville said he supports the politics the young councillor brings to the fort. His politics is something which we encourage and endorse. He not only works closely with persons within his age, but the elderly alike and in between, so he has a broad cross-section of representation from persons from different parts, and that is something we have been promoting in the PNP about inclusiveness and inclusion, and Romain speaks volume that. Barnesville went on to state that with Morris crossing the floor, he believes the PNP will win the division in the upcoming local government polls. Lead investigator denies concluding story against Tonya McDonald's alleged killer. The lead investigator in the murder of Tonya McDonald on Thursday dismissed suggestions by one of the attorneys representing murder-accused Oscar Barnes that he concluded stories against their client. Attorney Vincent Wesley made several suggestions to the senior officer at the end of the two-day cross-examination in the Home Circuit Court. Mr. Wesley suggested to the cop that he charged Mr. Barnes instead of the son of the prosecution, main witness, who was also taken into police custody. Earlier in the trial, the prosecution's main witness, Denvelin Minto, told the court that during one of the attempts to kill Tonyan, he, along with his own son and taxi operator, visited the McDonald's dwelling. Mr. Wesley also suggested to the cop that he did not visit Crossroad Police Station where Mr. Barnes was being held. The cop said the only reason he visited the station was to ask Mr. Barnes whether he had an attorney. Early in the proceedings, the cop admitted that he took note of what Mr. Barnes told him in his notebook. But Mr. Wesley told him that he did not collect a statement from Mr. Barnes because the visit never happened, and that he concluded the story because he did not have one. The attorney suggested further that his client was innocent then and is still innocent. The cop dismissed the suggestion, saying, "I have evidence, that is why I charge Mr. Barnes, sir." Everton Beaches South McDonald and Oscar Barnes are on trial for the July 2020 murder for Mr. McDonald's second wife, Tonya. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.